Hi everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We decided to join you this afternoon with a live stream. Let me show you what's going on. We are all hanging out having a picnic. We brought some food over. We brought our big camping pad, and Dad is over here. We are starting in on our second hay cutting. And I know it's a little bit of wind. You'll have to just kind of put up with the wind noise because you know what? As I found out last week, it is impossible to try to put the phone down or to hook up the microphone for muffling my wind noise. So we got Bethany and Jack relaxing after they're eating. Bethany's getting a little more in her. George is here. Looks like he's going after some food. I drove the Dodge over with buckets full of water because we have got little trees here that we have been nursing along, and we bring them over 5-gallon buckets of water. And Dad has started in on this 15 acres of hay. Now this is a mix of everything. Different grasses. We've got alfalfa. We've got red and white clover. And he came over yesterday to water the trees and saw that we are getting alfalfa blossoms and some clover blossoms too. So let me show you here. We have more pollinators in our farm than I've ever seen in my life, and it's because of alfalfa blossoming out all the time. So the bees do really well here. We make a lot of honey. Ooh, see that? Got a little tiny ladybug right here too. Little ladybugs. So all kinds of little purple everywhere. It's just beautiful. And it's a lovely place to be. That's the homestead right over there. There's a creek that divides this field from the cow pasture and then the farm. So that is the farm and all of its messiness. It's still nice to see. So he's out there. Trey, what's Dad running today?
720.
All right, he's running the 720 diesel. We have so many of these 2-cylinder tractors that I have a hard time keeping track of which one he's running. And it's I think a 37 sickle bar mower. He goes through it every time he's going to cut. You always have to make sure that the pitman arm is nice and snug so that you don't break it. That was a lesson we learned. There's always a learning curve with running new machinery, but I think we went through 2 or 3 pitman arms the first year. And a lot of it always is the height of the grass. Isaiah, I saw your message. Hello. I just shipped some honey to Delaware, about 4 or 5 days ago. And I am surprised at how fast some of the shipping is coming through now versus just a few weeks ago. So anyways, this is where he is cut. He said, especially right under the walnut tree. Did you know walnut trees put off a chemical that make a lot of things not grow underneath them? This is all grass right here, and it's like a lawn. There is no alfalfa here at all. No clover grows here, just grass. So we were out watering the trees and said, well, we're starting to get some blossoms, and walked away and saw this walnut tree and all the grass underneath it. So we went back. There's another walnut tree in the field over there. The baby trees that we've planted are all oak trees because they're heavily resistant to a lot of things. You saw that in the tree planting video last week, and that was in the field over on the other side there. This field has 2 baby trees. Just to the east behind me is another section of field, and I don't remember how many said that is, but this is 15 acres on this side. Total it's like 34 or 38 for the whole field. But wow, we're not going to get a lot of tonnage here. It has been dry. We finally got a little bit of rain about 3 days ago, and the temperature calmed down quite a bit yesterday and today. It had been, you know, hot, humid, high 90s, very uncomfortable. So this is a lot nicer to be contending with. And he said, hey, I'm going to go cut that hay. We're going to get it before it gets all blossomed out and turns brown, and have some high quality horse hay. So this is going to be a lot of alfalfa and not as much grass. You can see here, this is a thin spot anyway, but Here, take these, would ya? I got some sticks. I don't like getting sticks in our bales. So we've got all this here. Good amount of alfalfa, and it's not all blossomed out, you know, not like it has been in the past. We've had it where it's just been totally mature, dropping seeds, turning brown. I was checking on the new hay field today. The oats are starting to mature, and we're trying to decide whether we want to bale them or combine them. If we combine them, we can have oat straw. We've gotten down to probably 150 bales of straw left, so it would be nice to have that surplus of more organic straw because the gardeners really like it. And you know, I've seen locally just regular straw. There's a couple different shops in Lansing that are kind of garden centers that people bring straw into, and they're selling it for, you know, $7-8 a bale, and we're selling organic straw for $5 a bale. A lot of farmers north of us are selling it for $3 and $4 a bale, but I did see one of our neighbors going by with a combine, so maybe the reduced price of $3 and $4 a bale is out of the field, or last year's reserves of straw that they're trying to get rid of. I'm not sure. Here he comes. You see all the little butterflies, little yellow butterflies? They're everywhere. The kids love coming out here. I'm gonna step aside here so I don't just get run over. It just does such a nice job of cutting it. It just lays it right down flat. He said he's gonna have to do a lot of combining of rows to get a good heavy bale like he normally would. You get into some of these hills where it's drier or sandy. We had the creek was down here. We hooked up a trash pump and like 3-inch PVC pipe, ran it uphill to great big sprinklers up here because nothing would grow in this sandy spot. So in these areas, it's not gonna be a whole lot. You get those really weird, like banana shaped bales when that happens. We've done a lot of fine tuning with our baler to avoid that from happening. But where the hills are very sandy, it does make it very difficult. We have found, if you can see down there, we've got some broken tile spots, and I'll tell you, there's a baby tree out there, past there, and it seems to be going on further back this way. So he had talked with a neighbor, and at some point we found out there actually used to be an old homestead over this way, and we knew that our long barn that's over there that we had talked about tearing down or saving was relocated, most likely, from this spot, from the first homestead to over here. We thought our house was the third house on the property, so now we're finding out it's the fourth house on the property, not even counting if there was any ever little tiny cabins or anything previously. Oh, I see a little milkweed out there I gotta go after. We've been finding a lot of milkweed in the field. And you know, that grows, the root system is like a vine underground, and it gets really spread out. It can be hard to control. So every time we come out here and water the trees, we look for some and we pull it out. So there's a lot of plants that are toxic to different livestock. So it's just better to try and pull them out. And this has been established for several years now, so we don't get a lot of weeds. But there's these wet spots that are developing over here, and there's another one. Well, those wet spots start reducing this milkweed really bad. And I generally don't leave it just here in the field. We'll throw it in the back of the truck when we're watering the trees and get rid of it. My kids rode their bikes over. The little kids rode in the truck with me. So they're happy. They're not going to be happy when I get them watering trees here in a minute. We found that we can divide up the water into the 5-gallon buckets and have them take a half a bucket each, and it makes it a lot easier. Could you boys do that for us?
What?
Could each of you big boys take one of these 5-gallon buckets and go to the far tree over by Dad?
That one?
Yes. We're not going to the woods.
Not you.
So you guys have a video coming up to watch. I think it's going up Wednesday. And we have been going along the edge of the field here, and we've been cutting the trees back that have been growing up on the field. Jack, get off the bike, please.
What? Where's it gonna go up there?
No, you're going the wrong way. I need you to water the tree.
That one? Over there?
Yeah. I need you to walk with Murdoch.
Bucket for it.
Can you carry a bucket then?
Oh, I thought it was both of them.
No, it's going to water the trees.
Oh, you said what?
These guys, they're trying to get out of work. They knew I was coming to water the trees. Ah,
I'm not.
You were, not us.
I lost you guys for just a second. So I'm gonna have you guys just kind of watch him for a little bit. We've got a lot of sticks here that I've been cleaning up here around the walnut tree. It is nice to hear the old 2 cylinders run when the wind's not blowing. It's a real windy day today, and it's only about like 76, 78 degrees. And at first I thought, oh, I can't handle another 80-degree day today. But the wind is pretty high, so it keeps things very nice. I finished up some painting projects that were going on equipment in the yard that didn't get finished last night or needed a second coat and touch-ups. And I wasn't standing there just dripping with sweat and frying, which is good, because as I was starting to say about trimming the trees over there, well, I did that one day, got poison ivy all over my ankles from having short pants on, big mistake. Then I went over to the workhouse about 3 days ago, and I had a super hot sweaty day, and I kept wiping my face on my sleeves and my arms, and I have got poison ivy on my face, I've got it on my belly, I've got it on my legs because I had shorts on, and I am miserable itchy. It is something. But I found his mom used to use a product called Ivy Dry, and it does dry it up pretty fast. Calamine lotion, Caladrill does nothing for me with poison ivy, and I cannot take Benadryl. Hi! I know tall grass. So little George is still nursing, and I have to be careful taking any kind of, prescription medicine or over-the-counter anything because it can affect him. Normally if I take something like that, I get sleepy and drowsy, he gets sleepy and drowsy. And I'm ambitious. I have got way too much to do for that. Here, will you throw this in the truck?
I can throw the thistles from it in the truck.
Here you go, throw that in the truck. Don't throw it down. Thank you. You're a good helper. I know you guys want to see the tractor. Try to keep these guys going. So we brought him over lunch, and we had a nice little picnic for about 10 or 15 minutes, and he gets right back to it. I made some homemade bean dip and brought some chips over. We had leftover pizza from last night. All kinds of fruit. Some homemade iced tea. I was working at the workhouse the other day, and I ran out of water, and I needed something. So I went to McDonald's and got an iced tea. That tasted like mud. It was disgusting. Ooh. Hi, little guy. So I put an old pickle jar aside and a box of iced tea to take with me so that I don't have to do that again. And I'll have to turn the water valve on the workhouse so that I can go ahead and make tea and drink water from there, which is really hard for me because it's city water and they chlorinate the water and I can taste it. But after being at the farm for a while, I at first had a hard time. Did you hear that? That was an Etsy sale. Stop by the Etsy store and you can buy honey. We just posted an Instagram picture yesterday, I think, of our honey crop. So we've been harvesting some honey and the store's been replenished with that. I want you to take it to the truck. He's just throwing it. I'm giving him tree bark and he's throwing it back on the ground. Speaking into bees, little holes like this make excellent bee homes. And I've got 3 cottonwood trees right over here, or 4. There are bees that live up in the 3rd tree, and I have a beehive box there. Oh, that was me, Isaiah. Well, I guess I'm making another shipment to Delaware. Well, I appreciate that. I know that a lot of people enjoy honey, and I really enjoy the honey. I even save the honey from the cappings. We have to like melt the wax and there's always honey left behind from that. And we always sell raw honey, but I'll use the cappings honey. I mark it and I mark it as cooking honey. And that is super, super good. But if you ever use it in baking, I always reduce the amount of time because like if I make banana bread, it tends to brown up faster than if I use maple syrup. Looky here, this walnut tree. A critter has been living here. Yeah, full of walnuts. Little George is having a good time. He likes to come out here and just walk around. This is late for him. He's been having a nap around this time of day. So if things fall apart with him, which I have to say, last week he came out while I was washing laundry in the live stream and he started messing with the phone and we lost connection. And I didn't know it right at first. And I thought everyone's gonna think that he dumped the phone into the pool of water. That's not what happened. It was so hot, it was in the 90s. The phone kept overheating all week. Yes. Are you throwing? I know there's a lot of wind today. I'm trying to stand by this tree to keep some of the wind from getting us. The boys are coming back from their adventures watering one tree. There's 3 more to go. Hey Bethany, you want to clean up the picnic for us?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's super.
Wait, I'm gonna open up this.
So anyways, it ended the live stream. I was washing the laundry and I thought I just cannot keep stopping. It took probably 40 minutes for the phone to finally cool down, so I couldn't get reconnected to finish the live stream. So I just left you at that. So I apologize. Things happen. And so as you know, the washing machine was down while I was working on everything during the week. So instead of having a usual video go up yesterday, I thought, you know what, we'll just go ahead and try to squeeze in a live stream. So this worked out really good that he was doing this, because what's a live stream with nothing going on the farm? Oh, French toast is the best. My mom used to make French toast very regularly, and I tell you, my sister and I, it was our absolute favorite. We wouldn't coat it with powdered sugar or anything, just maple syrup. It's just the best. Occasionally, you know, we would throw on like some whipped cream and raspberries. Very tasty stuff. That's some orchard grass, honey.
I want to go back in. Okay.
Will you put the cover on the beans for us so no bugs get in there? There's some little teeny tiny sweat bees flying around. We don't want bugs in our food. We have leftovers to save. Ooh, bacon. You know what I said we made leftover pizza for our picnic. We had leftover hot dogs from lunch yesterday, so I made a hot dog pizza. We had a bacon and sausage pizza because the little gremlin stole all the pepperoni in the house. So we tend to have pizza on Friday or Saturday night. Sometimes we have pizza twice a week. It just kind of depends on what's going on. And it's all homemade. You've seen that before. Well, we got busy last night. And I'm sorry, I'm going through looking at everyone's comments. The kids are talking and there's a helicopter flying over. There is a party store near us and somebody told me they have the best breakfast pizza around. It's the weekend, so the weekend warriors are out. Reserves come in. That doesn't look like one of the reserve helicopters.
That's a new one. Someone bought a helicopter they've been flying on.
I don't think that's what it is. It looks like he's headed to the airport, or the hospital.
Someone bought a helicopter. That's a two-rotor one with skids.
He knows all the stuff about airplanes and helicopters. He's an encyclopedia about the things that he knows. He knows things. He's like his dad. He just memorizes all of it. So I'll talk to you again for a little bit. What's the status of the washing machine? It is fixed and I am caught up on laundry. I actually officially got caught up on laundry yesterday, which was super because, you know, you can hand wash some things you can't hand wash, some things I just didn't even attempt to hand wash. So they were out of pants, bedding, things like that. I won't even try. The big bath towels, no way.
No.
It's really hard work to hand wring out laundry. So could I have two boys walk with me for water? And Bethany, you need to get the lid on those beans still. Come on, Jack. So the videos are coming up on that. Washing machines are my specialty. Washing machines, dryers. I prefer electric dryers over gas dryers just because it's real easy to test the electricals where unless you have a gas hookup, you don't always know. And there's LP gas and then there's natural gas. That's not the way I want you to go, little boy.
Okay.
Oh, he always goes. Kind of has a one-track mind sometimes. He's getting independent. Independent and stubborn. Don't know where he gets that from. I'm a bit stubborn. His dad's stubborn. So I checked the washing machine out and there's a component on the top that makes the agitator go. I thought that's probably what was wrong. They were worn out, but they weren't totally failed. So then I checked a part under the washing machine that is hooking up your motor to your transmission, and it's called your motor coupler. It is made of plastic and then there's a piece of rubber. It's 3 pieces. Figured that was probably it. Maybe worn, but not snapped or broken. It wasn't it. So the 2 things that I thought it probably was, I wasn't lucky enough. And fortunately, both of those parts I already had on hand from my previous appliance experiences that I saved parts. So it wasn't costing me any money so far. So then I thought, okay, it could be the basket, the drive basket that makes the basket go. All the brake assembly and everything is connected to it. You gotta see this guy. Huh? Are you cooled down? They come in, they get the water and they splash it all on themselves. So I had to order a part and then we were getting into money. So I waited till the next day. I called the local appliance parts places and they didn't have it in stock. They could get it in maybe a day. And I said, yeah, I'll just hand wash. Well, like a 300% markup, we figured it was. $144. And online, I think it was $43 for the part. Well, you know what I did? I gotta see what I got for water here. Will you walk with me with a bucket of water? You get one and I'll get one. Oh, trees. So, the part finally came. I put it in and it was working better, but still not 100%. So that only left the one thing, the transmission. Low voltage to the motor could have been it, so I was still kind of taking a gamble. But on a whim, I thought I'll check out how much money a new washing machine is. And Isaiah, we had talked about this, you know, yeah, in the comments. Those old Speed Queens and like the old Lady Kenmores and the old Maytag machines, they were just bomb-proof. They go for 20, 30 years without a problem. So I was at Lowe's to get something for him, and it was $586 for the very low-end washing machine. I don't remember what brand it was. Maybe it was an Admiral, which is the super low end of the Whirlpools. They still make them. They're fine. Really good for rentals, or if you just want to put new appliances in a house before you sell it. So keep that in mind. But they're a real light duty appliance overall. They're putting this new transmission style in them. So I looked up my transmission number and I went online and I found all the previous part numbers for that same transmission up to what the replacements were. So that really helped me out a lot. I went out to the garage and I had the exact same transmission sitting on the shelf, and I didn't know what the status of it was. So I thought, I'm taking the gamble, I'm gonna put it in. If I have to take it back out, big deal. So I got on eBay and this was before I found out that I had the match. I went out the next morning and confirmed that it was the exact same part number, so that was a super bonus. Well, thanks, buddy. I saw that people were selling rebuilt and refurbished and manufactured. You had to let the water go down. Too much. Okay, take this bucket.
No, I dumped one bucket into the other.
Okay, don't pour it in there.
Yes.
No, at all. You just lost half our water. The tree bowl here was already full, and he just decided to go ahead and toss it in. It was full to the top, so you had to let it soak in a little bit. Every moment is a learning moment. So this is one of our old oak trees, and we planted this probably 3 years ago, and they all look like they had died. No, Murdoch, let's go to the other one. We'll get that one with the truck on the way out, unless you want to.
Where are we going?
There's one over the hill behind me. Over that way. So all in all, the wash machine got fixed. It sounds really good, but I did notice that the motor that I took it off from, there was some gear case or transmission oil on it. It could have just been from storage or whatever, but I looked up and they actually make a rebuild kit for them. So the used transmissions were selling for, like rebuilt transmissions, $180 with free shipping. I'm not spending $180 for free shipping. I was finding new ones for $200, which is still cheaper than the $600 new washing machine. Got some more milkweed to get. Just pull it right out. When you find it, it's in a patch. And it kind of sprawls out because it's all networked underground. It's kind of like how your raspberries, you know, spread. See that root? So they travel. And it's sticky. Jack got it on his hands and he immediately broke out in a rash. I don't know what's in it. But we're finding all the weeds mean something about your soil. And thistles mean that you've had compaction. Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
So I don't know what the milkweed means other than like a wet spot, but like right there was a dry spot. So anyways, $20, $30, you can buy the rebuild kit for the transmission, have that part coming. And I thought, just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead, do my smart thing, order it, and then we'll make a video out of rebuilding a transmission, because who knows how long the transmission I have is gonna last. And I don't want to be in the situation that I'm without my washing machine again for a week or a week and a half. And you know, we've got little kids. George just potty trained and he does not wear diapers at night. So if he has an accident, that means more excess laundry. He does really good though. Okay. Will you help me? Sure. Pour half of that water into that bucket. So it was successful. I ended up spending a total of $45 on the washing machine. I could save that money to do something else. And I'm sorry, the sun is in my eyes. I'm having a hard time reading anything. So we'll just let you guys talk about things. So I had some very little downtime with all the hand washing. It is slow, but I was, you know, happy to do it so that we weren't running out, and I just kept it to the small stuff.
Now you see me?
She wants to show you something, but I can't see where she's at. She says, now you see me. Now you don't. Goodness. All right. Okay. I need a half a bucket of water. Okay, these 2 half buckets go to that tree. Thank you, Murdoch. Follow your brother. Yep.
With that bucket.
Yes, with this bucket. They try. They're gonna go water some trees. Or another tree. Here they go. 2 brothers. I like to see them working together. Those 2 will go off and talk. You hear that screeching? We have a hawk, this resident hawk that flies around here. Do you follow us on Instagram? So this hawk was up on the roof of my barn the other day, and Bethy just got baby chickens. So we're keeping an eye on him, and we'll give you an update. Yeah. He's flying around. He's just circling. I'm having a hard time seeing where I'm at. He's up there. He's all spotted on his underside, and it looked like maybe another one was over that way. They fly around. We know they're here. There's probably 3 of them. So anyways, yes, it is a good idea to fix an old washing machine or anything else old. You know, we run everything old. Money doing that. I've told you before, my mom more or less was a yard sale queen. They used to have something in our area called the Wheeler Dealer, and it was an extra to the newspaper, like a trading newspaper that you could buy and sell things. So she got all of our old appliances that way, all of our old furniture, things like that, bigger stuff. And she always yard sales. She always knew somebody who had something. She was a hairdresser, so there was always, you know, somebody telling her that they were upgrading to something. Do you want my old stuff? She would trade, you know. I remember one time she got me a new bed, and she traded the lady for a perm for her hair. Well, the supplies for her to buy the chemicals to give the lady the perm, plus the hour to do the labor of the perm, you know, she might have, say she paid herself $10 an hour back then, $5 worth of chemicals, different supplies, style her hair afterwards, you know, 20, 30 bucks. And I got a brand new full-size bed, or new to me, and I loved it. I thought it was just the greatest thing in the world. And I remember thinking that was so sweet and nice that my mom did that for me when I already had a bed. My husband's always telling me, like, people will upgrade to something else while, say, you got a new car. Well, you already had a car. It might cost a little money to fix something, but like our washing machine, I really like our washing machine. And when I bought it, I knew that one of the cycles didn't work quite right, and it needed a new clutch. So I've had a clutch for that sitting on my shelf probably for a year, thinking I'll get to it someday. Well, I had to tear it apart so much to do the work on it that I did, that clutch finally got installed. Hang on just a second, I need my other hand. I hate to do that, but I was losing my water. So anyways, we have spent a lifetime repairing what we have. And I think it started just in general with our backgrounds and our raising, because my parents just would have to upgrade to something else. Well, then you end up buying somebody else's problem or somebody else's equipment that's on their last legs. He really likes all this old vintage, you know, tractor and farm equipment. He got a really cool old engine the other day, and he needed something to run a pump for when he's pumping like fuel out of a 500-gallon tank from the back of the truck. And he's used like Generac transfer, like water transfer pumps, and they're not made for fuel, so they don't last long that way, and they're very expensive. Well, you use them for fuel and avoids the warranty. So he's got a pump out of an old fuel truck that he's hooking up to this motor, and he was even able to find a new muffler for it, and it's awesome. Super awesome stuff. I was looking at some truck parts for him and kept telling him, just retire the Dodge. Just have it here at the farm and don't have it out on the road. And he's determined that he just loves this truck. He just went around and put all new brakes on it, but it's still real rattly. And after his standing on the roof to do all of his tree trimming, oh my gosh, he was bending it. He would sit down in the cab afterwards and punch it back up to make it go up, and rust was falling through. And the top part of the cab, we've been known to duct tape that to keep the rain out. The day I went to go get the new Buick legal, it was raining so hard. There was actually a tornado touchdown in St. John's, Michigan, or right near there, and the alarms all went off and everything. So I had to wait inside of the building until everything passed. It was still raining hard when I left. It was raining inside of the Dodge. And I'm thinking, I have a perfectly good car sitting in my driveway at home. I want to go drive that. Now I have not driven the Dodge to town, out on the road for anything. I drive it over here to the hayfield to water trees. And that is it. You got a spider? Where's your spider?
I get a bed
There.
big.
Squished it.
I see. Where's the little girl?
On that hill somewhere.
Go find her, Murdoch. Go find her. We need to keep her and keep her safe.
Oh, hey, when I was out in the woods over that way, there were 2 deer
Oh yeah?
that were running away through the woods.
I saw,
Might have just been one.
I'll put it up on my Instagram later today. I saw a mama deer crossing the road the other day, and she had 3 babies with her, and there were no other deer around. Now, I've seen twins with a mom, but I've never seen triplets. So I don't know if that's, you know, just such a huge rare thing, or if maybe she was babysitting. I don't know. The wind is blowing up on you, huh?
That's
You look very comfy. Are you cold?
No, not one bit.
How could it be cold out here? It's July.
It is July. I'm in the shade now, so I'm reading your comments. Yes, this hawk is incessant. He just goes all day long, and I swear I want to shoot him down.
What?
Oh, my bird
What
shot
hill
out.
you say?
Trey,
The hawk.
we should go hunting.
But whenever he's landed like on the barn roof, and I'm not going to shoot up the barn to try to get him.
Yeah, got a miss.
Need to figure out some kind of a hawk trap.
Well, Trey's got a scope on his baby gun. That would be enough to get him out of the sky. With a real gun. It would be pretty effective.
I've never a white giraffe. We were watching the special on PBS, and poachers will go and kill them. Yeah.
Wow.
Nova and these other nature shows at night are real relaxing to watch. We watch Rick Steves Europe a lot at bedtime, and some of the cooking shows, but the cooking shows are terrible because you're laying there trying to fall asleep and everything looks so good. Yeah, your hair's a wreck. What kind of spider you got there?
Something red, and it looks like it's not a spider. Look at the bottom.
Maybe some kind of a scorpion. Oh my gosh, so Bethany got a tick on her head the other day. Another one of our viewers posted a picture of sorry, I got a tickle. Posted a picture of a, what did I say it was called?
Giraffe.
Oh, the bug on Bethy's head. I just completely, yes, a tick. So there's different kinds of ticks. I was thinking chiggers. Somebody posted something about chiggers are biting them. So yeah, she had a tick on her head. So we've been watching her to make sure she's okay. You know, no red spot, no bullseye spot, no rashes around her body or anything. Made sure that there was nothing left inside of her. And boy, it was attached. I couldn't believe it. I had never in my life even heard of those until a few years ago. And apparently they're really bad this year because I'm hearing about it from other people and seeing other people's postings about them. So maybe it was the wetness that we had for a little while, and now that it's dry, they're like, hey, we want people. I know for us it was partly a mowing problem maybe, but she'd been in the woods right out here while we were trimming the trees.
Narrow front end steering.
That's awesome.
Oh, you can guarantee if I get that hawk, I'm gonna eat him.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be tasty.
My husband told me no more chickens until I can cover them from aerial attacks, because I have gone in the barn and found a hawk living in our barn, and have had ducks that were lame that I had to separate out, and I just let them be in the barn, and then found a hawk and tore them apart. So no more of that.
Trey,
No more chickens. I'm not allowed, not unless they're totally enclosed. I'm gonna have to get armored material and redo the chicken coop because
hey Trey.
the predators are just too
When you
much.
eat that hawk, it tastes like chicken. It's gonna be balk of a hawk.
So we probably shouldn't talk about eating hawks because we're gonna get in trouble. I don't know if you can hunt them or not, but in general, I do know that in like farming and agriculture, there's a lot of things that you can do as far as protecting your crops or protecting your livestock that you can't do as a hunter. So, you know, it's different purpose. My husband always says, just claim your Native Americanness over anything as a necessity, so that, you know, you can just do whatever you want. It's America. It's America. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I love how that thing turns around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. It always can turn the other way
Yeah.
because it just doesn't look.
It
Yep.
looks swinging.
So yeah, I told him just keep on going with the hayfield. He asked if he should do it for a little while. And I said, just get the whole thing done today, because we have got to get to being roofing people.
It's getting cloudy, so I don't know.
They're both teeth.
Good.
Oh, I lost you guys for a second. All right, well, I guess we're getting bad internet connection at this point, so might be a good time to stop. So anyways, yes, I was saying we're going to be over working on the rental houses, doing projects over there. I am always trying to make time for the family and for you and planning out our week and our projects and everything. George keeps wanting to say hi to you and then he runs off, or mommy runs off, so yep, there'll be more videos. Watch out for Wednesday. You guys can watch the tree trimming video. So thanks for joining us for the live stream. I just knocked him right into my lap. We'll see. I'm competing with him for the phone. So we'll see you guys all next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your Sunday. God bless everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I piggyback him. I piggyback.
George, Isaiah says hi. Hi from Delaware. Bye-bye.
Bang.
Bye.
You want me to carry you?